Hello everyone, this is Harriet here, and I've noticed I haven't done a single DFFOO feature for this whole weekend, so I am going to do this video as a bonus. Also, if you haven't watched yet on this channel, I have reviewed both Mahjong Nights in Filipino commentary and Arcane in English commentary, particularly Arcane Act 2. The one where you see Mel and Jace kissing each other. So, if you like this video, I hope you leave a like. You don't dislike because YouTube is going to remove it and your efforts are wasted. If you don't like the video, you could just, I don't know, comment here because negative, positive, it still helps the channel. It makes the channel be detected by the algorithm. And I am currently farming for watch hours. 4,000, in fact. Now, without further ado in this introduction, I am giving my top 8 force team ups I want to see in Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia is a gacha game. For those who haven't followed me, who just followed me for League content or Arcane content or on my reviews. So this is a gacha game that I play often. I have played Opera Omnia for like what? How many years now? Okay, I played it since 2018. I'm a day one player there. And I just want to do this top 8. The Force team ups are like the feature of the Japan's new tier of weapons, the Force weapons. The Force weapons see a crossover between two characters, I think. So those who have force weapons in Japan are like Kane, Kane Highwind, who is teaming up with Aranea Highwind, Braska, who is teaming up with Amidatelion for some reason, and Kryle and Realm because they're kids. So these are my top 8 force team ups I want to see for FR weapons. Note these are not official, these are just theory crafting, these are just like my wants and not my need. I just want to see them. So if I get one of them right, then it's a bonus for this video. So let me know in the comment what are your top 8 for Steam ups or which particular for Steam up you want to really see in Opera Omnia and you want the devs to do. So yeah, without any more staggering, let's get on with the list. So some rules that I am going to establish during this list is that the first character that I'm gonna mention is going to have the FR weapon, and the second character that I'm gonna mention is the one that the first character is teaming up with. So my rules also are not cumulative. So if you see this first character teaming up with second character, it doesn't mean that the second character is teaming up with the first character in their respective FR weapon. So without staggering further, my top 8, number 8 is Shantoto and Papalimo. I think this is one that I want to see. Really, not just for the laps because both are midget powerful mages. Well, technically, Papalimo is a thaumaturge. But, I mean, you can see it coming. They have the good synergy when unleashed. Also, that you could make an argument. Vivi could be with Shantoto, but I see Vivi more with Palom, to be honest. Cause fire and ice, right? Like Pepsi. So Shantoto, Papalimo, I kinda want to see them, these two, a Taru and a Lalafell team up for Shantoto's force weapon. For my number 7 entry on the list, I am putting my main man King and Prompto. Now, imagine if Trigger Happy in Endless Volts in the same animation, that would be like a Texas shootout. You know, with cowboys, yeehaw, trying to shoot down their opponents. It's like this is one massive gunfight. And do note there are two more gun users on this list, but I'm gonna see it. Trigger Happy, Endless Volts, it's gonna be lit. And yeah, King and Prompto Argentum. King from Type 0 is going to get the FR. He's gonna team up with Prompto. That is one of the team ups I kinda want to see in Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Just for that animation alone. Endless Volts, Trigger Happy. What more can you get? Right? Number 6 on my list is going to be Warrior of Light and 9. Now, there's a lot of history to them together on the Reddit forums. You see, when 9 came out, people were gonna skip him because they compared him to Warrior of Light, even though 9 does more damage. Then Warrior of Light, then Warrior of Light LD came out, then 9 is just ran by people who like 9 apparently. And 9 got a good LD. And Warrior of Light got a good LD board. And I think I want these two to team up just for the tick shields, to be honest. And their like history of the subreddit, I think it's a huge shout out to the fans. You know, this is a Redditor's dream. So if you can't have Warrior of Light and 9 going to both, like you choose one of them, why not have them both? Warrior of Light Force Weapon, pull for it, and you can have him team up with 9. I mean, I kind of see the logic, but I think more likely Warrior of Light is going to team up with the Onion Knight instead due to story purposes. But I mean, come on, the Warrior of Light hasn't come back on the story. Spoilers in Opera Omnia Japan, and he got his Burst Plus. I was expecting his Burst Plus to arrive when he comes back in the story. So who knows? Maybe the story doesn't anymore translate to what the release are happening, and they're just going to team up Warrior Light with someone else, and I want that someone else to be 9 from Type 0. Number 5. Speaking of similar, like kits who aren't similar but they're kind of similar, Zelentiva. Now, if you don't guys have played Final Fantasy 8 yet, there are instances that Zell has the exact same moves as Tifa. Zell has Dolphin Blow. Zell has his own version of Final Heaven. Now get this, if Zell and Tifa team up for a force weapon in Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, which I suggest those who are new to the channel to check it out. It's a friendly free-to-play gacha game. It's free-to-play friendly. Okay? So, without saying that, I mean, Zell and Tifa, kinda an obvious team up if you ask me. And I'm very confident they will go on this route. But this is just my fantasy team up, guys. Imagine double Dolphin Blow on the enemy with Zell's force weapon. I can pretty much imagine it. I cannot see a double Final Heaven. Final Heaven is most likely Tifa's burst attack. So yeah, double Dolphin Blow or double whatever skill Zell and Tifa have in similar shared with it across the Final Fantasy lore. Okay. And now for a word from our sponsors. Just kidding, guys. The only sponsor of this video is myself. If you like this list so far, we are halfway through it. And I'm about to go to church in about 50 minutes. So I need to wrap up this video. But before going to the top 4 of this list, Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps the channel grow. And I'm currently farming for watch hours. 4,000 in fact. I mean, I got 1,400 under my book, so that makes 2,600 more watch hours. So please, give me these 3 things in life. I may do a giveaway, maybe. That's my target by the end of the year. So, it helps the channel grow. Yeah, please and thank you. Now, let's go to top 4. So yeah, I just want to see this as two dads teaming up. For top 4, I want to see Barrett Force Weapon teaming up with Saz. I mean, if you think about it, Maximum Fury and like what? Cold Blood, Maximum Fury, Angerman, whatever the heck it's called. Cold Blood in the same animation. It's kind of fun. You can see Big Shot, Barrett doing Big Shot, and then Sas doing aim. Or you can see Sas battering Barrett before he does the Big Shot. I think it's gonna be an interesting chemistry between these two fathers. These two gun users. You could argue it's Laguna and Sas because they're also both gun users and they're both dads. But I digress. I want Barrett and Sas to team up. Technically, Barrett is a special weapon user, but come on, it's a gun arm. And really big shot, man. If you battery with Sas, attack boost, and then Barrett will do big shot, kind of gross, isn't it? So yeah, that's my number 4 on this list. For number 3, it's Arden's Force Weapon and Leon. I kind of teamed them up because of this good artwork for, I don't know, Act 3, Chapter 6, Part 1. I don't know who's the character introduced on that chapter, but yeah. I think Arden Leon. I think this is a suggestive artwork. But then again, which artwork made sense in the type of weapon you're going to use, right? I mean, sometimes the story doesn't make sense in the artwork. Have you seen Prish in the Ignis chapter or Sabin? No. Well, they were there. They were there in one scene, and they were in the artwork of that Ignis chapter. But yeah, I kind of want to see how will Leon interact with Arden on Arden's Force animation. Maybe we will see a dark stream of energy. Arden will do his EX animation and Leon will do dark stream. It's like going to be paralleling the stars on how Arden demonifies beings in EOS. So maybe. Also, I'm not saying that Noctis and Furion should team up on their force weapons. I'm just saying Arden and Leon. I think I want, because of this poster. It's my fantasy. What if Arden just teams up with Leon? Okay, so yeah, let's move on to number 2. Bro, can you see Lil and Sid Reigns teaming up? It's gonna be awesome, right? 2 launchers. You can see maybe it's hard to be programmed, but Lil can do his, what is it? This skill 2. I forgot the name. Field burst. I forgot the name of the skill 2. Okay, Lil skill 2, and then Sid will jump up in the air and then impact strike the holy hell out of the boss during this FR animation. I think it's gonna be a good force team up. Lil force weapon and then Sid Reigns. Kit wise, it makes sense because yes, launchers. Animation wise, it's gonna be awesome. And what else there is to say? I think I saw someone on Twitter also wanting a Lil Sid Reigns team up. So I think it's a good fan service, if you ask me. And speaking of fan service, number one is number one is the team up that I want to see in a forest. Squall's force weapon, and he's going to team up with Pain from Final Fantasy X too. There are like what do you call this? Jokes that Pain is a female Squall. I think it was hinted at the Pain chapter. You know, there was a cat cutscene there. Zell really saying that Pain reminds him of Squall, and then Squall's inner banter is similar to Pain's outer banter. If you haven't seen that cutscene, I suggest to go to the Materia Theater and check it out. It's in the Pain chapter. It is in on Act 2. I forgot which chapter, but it's the chapter where you recruit Pain. Both are great sword users, so I think the devs can make this an easy animation. Also, I couldn't think anyone else going to team up with Squall. I guess Cloud is a logical solution, but having a protagonist teaming up with another protagonist is kind of lazy thinking, if you ask me. That's why I didn't pair up Onion Knight and Warrior of Light on this list. But I kind of see Pain teaming up with Squall on the game. It could be Pain FR with Squall or Squall FR with Pain, but yeah, this is one of those two team up fantasy team ups I kind of want to see, and I kind of want to get implemented in the game. I don't know what skill is going to be used here. If it's Faded Circle, maybe Squall will swing the sword, Faded Circle, Pain will do that dancing sword animation, or maybe Pain and Squall will do a cross slash. You know, the one that Chrono and Frog does in Chrono Trigger, the one that does a huge X on the floor. Maybe they'll do that. Who knows? But for number one, I want to see my boy Squall Leonhardt teaming up with Pain in this forced team up in FR weapons in Dissidia, Final Fantasy, Opera Omnia. And that is my list. Let me know in the comment below, who do you want to see team up? You can have your own list. You can have a video showing of your own list, but please make sure to let this channel grow. This is Harriet Velasco. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and good night. Bang!